I keep seeing comments. Some are bot comments, and some are comments from legitimately people on the right who don't understand things. But I keep seeing comments saying, we're not at war. We are not at war. Congress has to declare war. We're not at war. Suddenly, these people on the right understand congressional power. They understand the president doesn't have absolute power. It's amazing. But I'd like to remind you that while we may not officially be at war, we're still in a pretty bad conflict. Also, the same MAGA people now that are claiming we're not at war were the same people claiming that back in Bush Jr.'s era, we were at war. It was a war. It was the war on terror. Do you guys remember that? We were at war. We weren't. We were in a conflict. But they swore up and down it was war. And now they seem to understand the difference between war. They understand that Congress is the only body that can declare war. Now, we can argue that, yeah, we pretty much are going to be, because of the fact this is only going to escalate. I don't see where this comes back down. We didn't show that much of force. Since the buildings were evacuated, yeah, it wasn't, yeah, we didn't really do what we thought we did. I mean, come on. But yeah, just the way that these people, the mental gymnastics with it is amazing. It's just amazing. Iraq, Afghanistan, wars. This isn't a war. It's not a war. They're really funny. I wonder if they're actually afraid that we might actually get targeted again. They've got to remember somewhere that 9/11 happened, that we're not, immune to being hurt. And we really didn't do much. The amount of troops we lost, the amount of money wasted to do the war on terror was just laughably insane. And it really is funny, but yeah, just wanted to comment on that because I keep seeing those around different comment sections that, we're not at war. And it's like, you better hope we're not at war. We can't afford that. In addition to that, you're worried now that if we are, your kids might get drafted. Or if you're young enough, you might get drafted. I think that's funny. It'd also be funny to see the amount of gravy seals that try to get in, that realize that actual military is not the same as the cosplay they're doing. That it's more than just a costume when they can't, complete their PT, when they wash out of boot camp. Like, I'm not military, but I've heard stories from people who are, and I've known family members have talked about people that go in and just don't make it. They get washed out. Geez, when the war on terror happened, everybody was enlisting in. I remember the amount of people that were upset because they couldn't go because they were mentally unfit, physically unfit. It was hilarious. And these were people that weren't necessarily physically presenting as unfit. They could not pass the basic physical portion to get in. And those that made it past the recruiter, that actually got on the truck, so to speak, and made it in, yeah, they came back not too long after because they were unfit for service because they could not make it. Oh, man, it's going to be hilarious. It really is. And let's just say that the president, and his cabinet decide they're going to remove some of those requirements. We are going to have the worst military on the planet. The amount of self-inflicted wounds, the amount of just ineptness that's going to be there. Yeah, we may have, had visually one of the most impressive militaries on the planet at one point in time. But if we put these people out, it is going to look bad. And I feel sorry for anybody that is qualified to serve, that is serving, that has done great work for this country, to have to be alongside failures and complete useless people that, it's, yeah. I've said before, if they increase the draft range, I'm 40, I'll go to document the horrible things we're doing, to make sure to be able to speak out about it when I can. I'd go. But a lot of these people that are going, they're not going to make it very far. It'll be interesting to see how many people, if they don't wash out, if they do make it to the front lines, how many just don't make it because they're just not that good at what they're doing. And to see if they get changed. To see if they get changed in the likes of so many narratives we've seen. I think of Born on the 4th of July as an example of where people, kind of change through, or Greatest Beer Run Ever. Go watch that and see how somebody has an attitude like a MAGA and then goes and sees some stuff and changes. Good experiences. I don't know about Born on the 4th of July, but I do know Greatest Beer Run Ever was based on a true story. So there's a book for that if you're the book type. I have not read it, but yeah, go take a look at those and let me know what you think below in the comments, guys.